Hi, everybody.
Good evening. Good morning. Whatever. Day.
Welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast.
What is it? February 10th, 2012.
Yes.
Man, is it already family? Oh, it's already February.
I know.
I feel like we just.
I missed January like that.
Woohoo! Hey, what's up?
So.
And then February is all like 10 days long.
Well, did we get an extra day long this year?
That reminds me of like Christmas birthday present, not Christmas present.
My one of my friends is going to Disneyland for that 24-hour day of Disney.
That sounds so tempting.
So jealous.
I think we know a couple people that are going.
I definitely know someone.
It's in our
She's
group.
going with her kids, but
When someone in our group is going,
that'd be fantastic.
I don't know if it's someone in our collection.
I couldn't go in February though because I got school.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And I'm literally not going to Disneyland for like a 3-day vacation.
Yeah, like
I
Florida
refuse.
There's other things to do in Florida. Not that Disneyland's awesome.
Disneyland's in California.
What was I thinking of?
Disney World is in Florida.
That's the same difference.
Big difference. Big difference.
You would. Yeah, you would.
Big difference.
There's rides.
Well, Disneyland has everything kind of smooshed together, whereas Disney World, you actually take buses from like one park to the next because they have more than one park.
Right. That's why there's Disney World in like Japan and stuff.
Right. That's Disney Japan or Japan Disney or something stupid, and they have way different rides.
Oh yeah.
And the Paris one has way different rides because it's set for a more European audience, and the Japanese one's set for a way more Japanese audience.
So wait, in Europe they just hand you a bottle of wine. You go, don't drink and drive in this ride.
Pretty much.
Okay.
And apparently it's more Dr. Seussy.
Oh, you know what? I'd be okay with that. I like Dr. Seuss.
I do too, except when you go to a Disney park, it's kind of not what you're expecting. But either way, we're completely off topic now.
That's okay.
Yeah, not that anybody cares. This is what we do. We ramble.
I ramble.
So,
I'm rambling right now.
In this extra long month, what have you been playing in this 1 week?
It's only like one game I've been playing this week.
What have you been playing?
Resident Evil Revelations.
Yoo-hoo!
I've been playing it special though. I don't know. Have you been playing it special? I play it with this thing.
Yes.
I got a special case for my 3DS.
You got a boat, as you can.
I don't know if it's a boat. If it's a case. I appreciate that there's the port for the charger.
Yes.
So I can still charge it in my boat. This is a Circle Pad Pro, by the way.
Yes, in case
so
you're not watching or listening, or you're watching and don't know what the heck it is.
So I like it because it doesn't actually click in. I just took it out.
Yep.
There's no clicking. It's just in. And I was really concerned that my little charm wouldn't fit in there, but it does. So I'm extra happy about that because obviously.
Yep.
Piplup, awesome. So I'm playing Resident Evil Revelations, and I love it because of the extra this and the extra buttons.
That makes a huge difference.
Because while Revelations is still, a survival horror game, there is a lot of shooter in it still.
There's still shooting, but
it's more horror based now.
Yes.
But especially when you get into the more raid modes, it's all about shooting. It's all about action. So it really helps in the action sequences. It just adds a lot more buttons to help with the game.
I know what I'm getting for my birthday.
I got a cheat because
I know you did.
It was because I got there and the guy was like, it's like $15 or $20 or something like that, and I was looking at it and I was like, should I get it? And I'm like, you should probably get it now. He was like, you should probably get it now because apparently it's $25 now. So it's expensiver.
More expensive.
Yeah. So, yeah, it looks really, really big, and it still does look really big. It's no longer portable.
Yeah, you have to have a bag with you to.
Yeah. I'm actually waiting for them to make like a third-party case that kind of goes over this, so it's like a clamshell in a clamshell. I could seriously see that. It doesn't connect with any ports. It connects us with the IR port up here. You can't see it in the video because it's right there. It slips right against the IR port in your 3DS.
That's how it knows.
And you know what? IR ports super responsive, so it's like a TV remote, except for your 3DS, and you get an extra stick with it. So if you can find it, definitely get it for your Resident Evilness. I got it primarily going into Metal Gear Solid 3, or Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater
Snake
3D.
Eater 3D, yeah.
I don't like how they changed that name. It's so weird. It is the best of the 3D. Metal Gear Solid. That's all I've been playing.
You're enjoying Resident Evil though?
Yep. I think I've hit episode 6 or 7 recently.
I got it, and I haven't been playing it much. It's a fun game.
Oh, it looks so good. It
Yeah.
plays so well, and I still stand by the fact that if they put more elbow grease into it, totally a PlayStation Vita game.
Oh yeah.
They could totally make it into that.
Well, with that game, I'm just really impressed too with the caliber of the graphics on the 3DS.
Yeah.
Because Ocarina of Time looked good.
Yes. But
all the games we've been playing have looked good.
Mario.
Yeah.
Mario Kart.
But this game looks just like it's another tier up,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just kind of like wow. So
the cutscenes, obviously, are full motion rendered.
Yeah.
But they still look really good.
Yep.
Especially with the 3D turned on.
Mm-hmm.
And even outside of that, the lighting is really good.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think the 3DS could do that, something like that.
Well, even the shadows I was noticing are really well done. Like,
yeah.
I know I was kind of expecting the old like, here is kind of a blob on the wall where your shadow should be, and it's like no, it's actually like your character's shadow.
Yeah, and then there's hanging lights that adjust the lights as you're walking through. The only problem with it, which I can see it's a developmental issue, the lips don't sync when you're doing cutscenes.
Right.
That's fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
First cartridge game with heavy loading screens.
Yep.
I thought that was awesome. Getting into an elevator and having it chug on you.
Yep.
Pretty awesome. I never expected that. But I guess coming with the PlayStation Vita, we'll see more of that soon.
Yeah. So.
All right. So that's all I've been playing. I was playing that since Tuesday. What have you been playing?
This much Resident Evil.
Yes.
And
we'll get to those raid missions.
And then I bought Kingdom of Amalur Reckoning.
Mm-hmm.
So, pretty much, one of the key guys from Oblivion, who does games, came in and was actually like, let's make a game. He's actually designing it. Then you have Todd McFarlane, who designed all the characters and the art and all that stuff for the game.
He's an artist.
Just a little one,
Mm-hmm.
And then you have R.A. Salvatore who comes in and goes, oh, I'll write the story. So you have one of the best fantasy writers out there with an amazing artist and a guy who obviously, because there's a lot of people that liked Oblivion, all coming in to make a game. And they put it all together. And I was kind of reading some other reviews, because I was thinking about it, and I really enjoy this game.
I hear it's one of those must-get games.
And then you read some of the stuff online, and it's like, well, it's kind of it feels like an old RPG.
But isn't that why we liked older RPGs?
And I'm sitting there going, is that really a problem? And they're sitting there going, well, like where Dragon Age and Mass Effect kind of push the story, or Mass Effect and like they push the story. This one is still one of those stories that your character doesn't talk. You have the option of what you want to say. There's no alignment type thing, so it's not like you can go good or evil.
How are you finding the alignments? Because I know that's been a huge push in the past couple of years of moral choices. I know Final Fantasy 13-2 has that apparently.
Like Mass Effect, I find Bioware does the best job of them. Mm-hmm. Like even their old Star Wars games.
Well, even their old Neverwinter games.
Yep. Like they've always done a pretty good choice with their moral choice systems. Like it's fun to be bad and it's fun to be good.
Yeah.
Like they don't have it so like one of the powers on one side is way more cool than the other side. But no, this game just takes that right out because the whole point is that you were resurrected. Mm-hmm. You were part of this war that's been going on for like the last 15 years or so. Mm-hmm. And you died and the gnomes managed to bring you back to life. You're the first person out of the Well of Souls to actually come back to life.
Oh, that's accomplishment.
And with that, you no longer actually have a destiny, because there's all these guys in the game called Fate Weavers who can actually read, like, the weave of fate and destiny.
So, like, this guy's supposed to die now?
So, yes, he can actually tell you when you're going to die. Well, he reads you, and he's like, well, this is odd. You're not part of the weave. Like, you can actually, like, choose your own destiny. So that's the whole point of the game, is you choose your own destiny.
But then...
But you can change the destiny of others.
But then... But there's no moral decision.
Nope.
But so how does that factor in then to the story? Because if it's you choose your own destiny,
you can choose.
I would think it's even more morally choosing.
You can choose more. I think it's more with the quests that you kind of choose to do or not to do. Like, it kind of leaves the morals up to you. Like, your character can do every single quest and just be like that chaotic, neutral character.
Okay, so
they're not bad. They're not good. They're just in between.
Okay, so
and your power, like, there's no powers that would obviously rely on a moral choice. So you can just be like, I like quests and do every single one of them.
So definitely like back to the old style RPGs.
Yeah, and then it comes up and I'm like, and I literally got to one and it was like, I need you to kill this person because they poked me while I was walking through the market the other day, and I'm like, well, that's not a good enough reason to go kill someone. So I'm like, no, like you end up making your own moral choices, just because there's so many quests in the game. You're like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that one because you're kind of a jerk. And then there's skills. So blacksmithing, sage crafts, you can actually put gems together to sock it into your items. Alchemy, to make potions. There's another one in there too. And what the nice thing is like there's lock picking in there.
Is it active lock picking or?
You actually have to like, it's not hard. You literally have your little lock pick and you move it this way or that way.
Oh, so like.
And you only move it the once, and then you push your lock pick through, and then you'll feel resistance. And the whole point is if your lock picking skill is high enough, you won't break picks. Like it'll reach that resistant part, and you'll go okay, and let it go back, and then you can keep trying with like the same lock pick. My lock picking skill is level 1. I can still pick every lock in the game.
So
it's just.
So it's not like Fallout.
It's not like those other games where all of a sudden your like lockpick skill is 1 and you get to the thing and it's like, yeah, you don't have the skill to open this.
That sounds so elitist.
That's kind of and so this one's like, you have the skill, you know how to lockpick. Like, congrats, you have 1 point, you know how to lockpick.
Yeah.
But you're gonna lose a lot of picks.
Or if you're not careful.
If you're not like, so like I sit there because I only have it at level 1 and it's like
cap.
And then it's like, and I'm like, whoa. And I mean, I've lost lockpicks, but they're cheap, so I buy them.
And you can probably find a lot on dead bodies and stuff too.
There's not a lot of lockpicks, but they're easy to. Every guy has them who sells stuff in the game. So,
there's no multiplayer in that thing.
Nope, it's a single player only game.
So,
but it's massive. Like I've been playing for 13 hours, and it's very quest hubby. You get to a town, and 12 people have quests, and then you go out and around the town. And
exclamation marks or some sort of.
It's an exclamation mark. It's blue though.
Ah, not yellow.
Not yellow. And it's kind of a clear kind of color. And then there's
I guess the main question is how's the combat though?
Combat is, and that's one of their big selling points. Is there's a lot like the combat's different than most other games, and because when you upgrade your trees, like your talent trees, there's one for might.
Yeah. Which
is heavy weapons. There's one for finesse, which is daggers, bows, fell blades. I think that's it. And then there's magic, which is staffs and chakras and... or chakrams? But as you keep going... What are you looking for?
A phone. And it just
might have fallen through the couch.
Ah.
Just to recline it. Entertainment! I'll keep talking while
I'm listening. I'm totally listening. I don't think it fell through.
Hold on, don't move. Don't squish my hand.
I don't think it fell. I just...
Oh.
Did it?
Yep.
Ah.
There you go.
Anyways.
So, some of them is holding the button, and that'll unlock a new power for your weapon, if you've unlocked it on your skill tree. And then some of them it's actually like rhythmically like hit, pause, hit, pause, hit, pause, hit, pause, and then your guy will do different things. So if you just want to like rail on the button, your guy just starts like mashing into them. And then if you've done that enough, you can kind of start doing your hit, pause, and then he'll go into like a more, concentrated juggling type thing.
So it's dynamic.
It's very dynamic, and then you can kind of pick and a lot of the skills, they level up 1 or 2 items at the same time. So it's not just like, if you level this up, you have to use daggers for the rest of the game. It's like, if you level this up, then you're good with fell blades and daggers. So you can kind of keep swapping them in and out. And then you have an offhand weapon, like a main weapon and a secondary weapon. So usually you pick one close up and one ranged. And you can really mix and match and throw stuff in, and it's super fun. And then there's magic, of course. You hold down a button, and magic pertains to, like, if you're finesse more than anything, you can actually use roguelike moves.
Well, that's good, because, well, is it all, it's stat-based, so...
Yeah, there's stats attached to every single item. And the items all look cool, like your armor looks wicked no matter what you're kind of doing.
Well, that's good design.
Yeah.
Feels like they could have easily hit the switch of going MMO.
It honestly, when I play it...
It could...
Because you can't jump in the game. There's no jump button.
Oh, so like a real... I don't know.
So I sit there and I play it, and I literally sit there going, this is like an upgraded version of, like, World of Warcraft with action-based combat instead of just, like, you know, fake turn-based combat.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked. Like, it's so nice. And they don't go for realistic. Like, it's definitely a fantasy-based world that you're in. You are not in like a Oblivion-type place or Skyrim where they try to make everything look real. This one's like, okay, you were in a fantasy game.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be fantasy-type stuff all over the place. And we're going to make it look just that slight bit cartoony more than...
What are the races you can play, though?
There's 2 human-y type races.
And, I think actually the better question is, you can play all the races that are in the game.
I'm not entirely certain, because there's a really long backstory to everything. So there's these things called Fays, and their story is literally, once a Fae dies, that's their story, and a new Fae takes over their story. So they have to relive through all that Fae's stories. So, like, if they're literally, like, if the Fae's story is to go and die epically in combat, that is the next guy who gets his name. That's his job, is to go into an epic combat and die. So they just keep reliving the stories over and over, and of course you, who can change destiny of everything, you come in and everything starts getting screwed up.
You just put a wrench in everyone's plans.
I really do. Like, your character really does. But, no, there's 4 playable races. 2 of them are human and 2 of them are elf-like.
Okay, so it's still humanoid
Yeah.
form. Okay. So you can't just be like, I'm a goblin.
No. And there's not really goblins. There's evil fays, which are really elves.
Mm-hmm.
They're like nature elf sprite things. So, and I mean, the story is insane. And because I mean, it's just so well written.
Potential for DLC though.
Total potential for DLC.
Good.
And
here's a new island. There's like 100 new quests. Go.
Well, and I mean, the fact that Salvatore's involved in it,
yeah.
I can see books coming out, and the fact that Todd McFarlane's involved in it, I can see comics coming out. Like,
they probably have a bunch of assets they couldn't even put in the game.
Yeah.
Like story and art. And
there's a lot of story because you talk to people and there's like I said, there's a war that's been going on for 15 years.
Everything's voiced.
Yeah.
Good. You don't see those a lot.
So,
nowadays.
Other than your character, yes, everything is voiced, and
it's like the original Dragon Age. So.
Yeah, they didn't really get a ton of voice actors.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't seem like they did because a lot of characters almost sound the same, but main characters sound different. But so, like, just guys that you run into town, they're kind of like the woman's voice. There's like 3 different women's voices, and about 3 different guys that you kind of they recycle, and the guy just kind of like changes his voice a little bit. But like I said, it's kind of this game is really my Skyrim for the year. Everybody was excited for Skyrim. I was really excited for this one, and like I said, I'm 15 hours in, and I don't think I'm anywhere close to the end.
Well, you're probably taking a lot of time doing side quests too, right?
I'm kind of.
You're all over.
I'm out questing it like. The zone, once the zone is done, I'm like, okay, moving on. And there's a part where you actually get a house in a town, finally.
Oh, okay.
So you get a stash, and they're like, would you like to upgrade your home for 300 coin? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then it's like, cool, you now have a dining room table. And I'm like,
why not?
Okay. And then it's like, would you like to upgrade it more? And I'm like, I guess so. And they're like, you have an alchemy lab. And I'm like, well, that's actually good.
Well, with dining table, you probably eat food with your families.
You don't have a family.
You make a family.
You don't make families.
Well, yeah, but you can change fate.
You can change fate, so. And you really learn that you can change other people's fates.
Do they really play, that's part of the gaming, is that part of the thing?
I think that will become more part of it, because I just discovered this.
Okay.
Because if you follow the main storyline, the main quest line, if you're like 3 quests in, you're with this one Fate Weaver. And he knows he's going to die. Like, his dialogue is like, okay, like, you're going to have to keep going on your own past this point. And you're like, Why? And then he's like, I recognize this. And he's like, you will be on your own after this. And you're like, well, I'm not going to let you die. Like, as the player, you're sitting there going, like, I'm not going to let you die.
Unless there's a good damn reason.
So, you literally, like, go in and, you know, beat up the monster, and then he sits there going, you just changed my fate as well as yours. And you're like, damn, Skippy, that's what I do. So I think that's going to be a much bigger part going into...
Well, how does that... Do you think that'll factor into multiple endings or multiple, like, just change, like, literally butterfly effect things?
I'm hoping.
That seems like a lot of potential.
And the way that you choose your class in the game is the Destiny like the Destiny cards. So it's almost like a tarot reading thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the Fate Weavers use, is they put their cards down, and that's kind of how you're supposed to do it. But of course, you can choose your own destiny. So the more points you put into finesse, all of a sudden you unlock all these rogue classes that give you advantages to your rogue abilities.
Mm-hmm.
But then you can actually dual class and triple class. So if you actually just keep leveling all three things at the same time, you can actually get a class that's all three.
Oh.
And it gives you like a boost to magic, a boost to rogue abilities, and a boost to...
But it's not one. It's not a...
So it's not, like, if you just go pure rogue, your guy gets really powerful rogue weapons. Like, or rogue abilities, like bonuses. But if you kind of dual it, like I'm doing, because I'm doing rogue or finesse and magic, then you get bonuses that kind of go together. Mm-hmm. So I get more piercing damage, but at the same time I recover mana faster. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, oh, okay. And I can blink now, instead of just dodge.
Well, I thought I meant like character blinking. Like, how does that... Okay.
Like Ewoks. Yeah. No, but like I can actually blink through people, and then if I keep going, when I blink through people, it poisons them.
Always handy.
So I'm like, okay. And then of course there's like your spells. Some of them are sustained and some of them aren't. So like my rogue's one adds poison damage to every single weapon I use.
Is that alchemy, or is it?
No, that's just part of your rogue talent tree. And then you can build weapons and salvage weapons and all that fun stuff. So I'm waiting till my blacksmithing's high enough, because then I can add all these components to my weapons and be absolutely crazy. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot going on in that game.
It sounds like a very deep game.
It is. So, which is exciting for me, because it's been a while since I've played an RPG that I've been this into. So
that's good.
That is all. That's literally all I've been playing. So.
Well, you touched a little bit of Isaac too.
And yes, I touched that. That was more last week that I was playing Binding of Isaac.
Because we both played it about the same time.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what we said about it. It's
Zelda isometric shooter, random dungeon generated. Yes.
Biblical references.
And definitely a large biblical reference for those that don't know. But Isaac, the whole story of Isaac.
Cut your son's head off to save.
The Bible one ends a lot better.
Yes, a little. It ends up more abruptly, but you don't get. There's no superpowers in the Bible's version. Oh, I guess there is kind of superpowers.
Well, he doesn't have to escape to a basement and run, the Bible one's kind of pretty straightforward. Go kill your son. He goes and takes his son, goes to kill his son. God's like, okay, you've proved yourself, you're good.
Yep.
This game is not like that. No, well, there's like 10 different endings.
Wow.
And I can't even get past, like, level 6.
There's an ending? I thought it just keeps going.
No, there's 10 endings. In a game you can't save, there are 10 endings. I had to look that up. I was writing the review and I'm like, okay, I have to find out how this game ends, and they're like, there's 10 different endings you can. I'm like,
wow. Oh, if it's anything indicative of the introduction cinematic, it would be awesome.
Oh yeah, like I really want to see them, but getting to them is another story. But I mean, that honestly adds to the replay value of that game, and you can replay that game easily.
I could honestly see that game with a sort of a cooperative component as well.
But like I said in my review, the game changes every time you play it.
Yep.
So replaying it's not that, like, you want to. Because you're sitting there going, well, when I play it this time, it's going to be completely different. Like, I'm going to get a completely different game, because this time my lasers aren't going to, like, you know...
You get the unicorn head.
I didn't like that item.
It was weird. It lasts for like 2 seconds. And
yeah.
It's kind of a waste of a slot, honestly.
There's a lot of items, though. Did you get the Steam Sale one? There's an item called Steam Sale, and it makes everything in the store 50% off.
I love it. I approve.
And I'm like, that is awesome. Because I bought it when it was in the store. Like, I walked into the store and it was like, Steam Sale! And or it doesn't, of course, say. You have to buy it before you can find out what it is. And so I walked up to it and it was like... So I picked it up for 15 pennies.
Or whatever.
Yeah. $15 or whatever it is, and it's like, you got Steam sale, and then all the prices dropped on everything else by 50%, and I'm like,
That's pretty awesome.
and even the shop changes every time you play through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I the first couple times I went in there, and there was always a ladder piece, which I love the ladder piece.
What does that do? That just...
You can cross a gap.
Oh.
So
Okay, that's useful.
all of a sudden, rooms with a bunch of holes in them become completely accessible because you can run the entire room and not have to worry about bad guys chasing you. And of course, it breaks their AI because they don't know what to do when you're standing on top of a ladder half the time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just stand there and shoot them from afar, and I'm like,
We get some really bad items then.
There are some atrocious items, and there are some good items, and then the pills are completely random. And there's the one pill that I really love where it's like it's like you picked up a pill, so then you use it, and it's like, I take them all, and your face just goes defigured and nothing else happens.
Approved.
I eat everything I find. Aww. So yeah, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho,
Next week will be huge. I'm gonna play something. Anyways.
I'll probably be playing Kingdom a little more. So, news. I got a lot of TV stuff.
I got a lot of video games. The tables have turned.
Bum bum bum.
Bum, bum, bum. First one is it's a quick follow-up to one of last week's stories.
Yes.
It was we talked about the Mass Effect game on the iOS devices.
Yep.
And Bioware, along with some other information that they leaked or announced for Mass Effect 3 and Galaxy War, they've finally showed off what the new iOS game is. It's called Mass Effect Infiltrator, and it ties directly in with the Galaxy at War multiplayer component of the game. And they've said that there will be direct ties with the multiplayer portion.
Okay.
And it's an action third-person shooter.
Oh.
More shooter. I think it's going to be completely shooter, actually. No RPG aspects, because there's no leveling up. You don't make a character. It's just a dude, and you go shoot things.
That's okay, though, for an iOS game.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't need to be too in-depth. And if it does have ties, if it affects your Galaxy at War game, then that would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm super excited for that.
That's actually, it sounds better than one would have.
Yeah.
They could have gone a completely different route.
It could have been really bad.
Yeah.
And it could have been like, because this is simplistic. Is the key, is the takeaway here, is it's a shooter.
Yep.
And really that's about it. You don't want to put anything huge Mass Effect onto something so
I was going to say,
mobile.
but you can't do that in a mobile game.
Yeah, like it's, when they showed it off, it was for the iPad, and granted for that, if it's something on the iPad, you could probably spend a little bit more resources working on it. But at the same time, you don't want to detract from the fact that you want to play Mass Effect 3.
Right, and the more money, the more money they spend making the game, more money you have to spend getting it.
Yeah.
So they're trying to keep the cost down.
Like, I don't think they said anything about price, but I imagine
and
no more than $10.
And mobile games, honestly,
But they're hitting this.
To me, I don't want to play on my phone all the time.
Right.
That's why I have my 3DS. Like
this is great. This is great for playing small games too.
Yeah.
I just found out you can play a full screen version of Ghost Trick on this. It's all high resolution and everything. So
Sweet.
I might actually play it on that.
But that's what I mean. Like, and I don't really count tablets as much as mobile.
I don't even know what this is called anymore.
Like,
it's
like to me, like that's closer to a laptop-ish type.
But
it's somewhere in between.
It definitely is. It's still in between.
Yeah.
And I don't think when they were designing the iPad, I don't think they had gaming in mind.
No. And then the
people,
App Store exploded.
Yeah. And then people are starting to figure out, people like this stuff?
Yeah.
So then they started making it easier for a game developers.
But on my phone, I don't feel like my phone is a gaming device.
Even on an iPhone, it's very limited.
Like, I like my Triple Town. I enjoy that. Like, I enjoy some games on my phone. But that's just it. They are games for my phone.
Yeah.
If I want to play a Resident Evil game, I'm going to play it on my handheld gaming device.
I did buy Resident Evil 4 for $1 though.
True.
And that was the best dollar I ever spent.
But it's $1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it played like RE4.
Yeah.
So that was that. Just because they I think it was like on Friday or Saturday, like right after we talked about it, they announced it.
Yeah.
So cool.
I have plants on my screen.
I enjoy plants.
Rumor is out that Epic Mickey 2, which itself is a rumor.
No, I think that's a thing now.
It's still rumored.
But what about those block arts?
Still rumored.
So how?
No, they have not announced anything
But
yet.
what about the art? They've made art. There's
Yeah.
assets for it.
Yep. Still not announced.
Now, in my eyes, when you have 4 separate box arts that you can choose from, that's indicative of a game that's at least mostly like 60% done.
So Epic Mickey 2
Mm-hmm.
is rumored to support Wii U. So the wording is weird on that one. But rumors are rumors. They're still not saying anything. But Junction Point is implementing Wii U support for Epic Mickey 2. So no one's quite sure if that means that if you put the Wii disc in the Wii U, if there will be some added stuff on the tablet controller, or if it'll...
That's just adding...
Or if there'll actually just be a Wii U version of the game.
That sounds... If it's the first option, if it's like it's a Wii game
Yeah.
with Wii U support, that's just a slap in the face. Because it's like, well, the architecture doesn't seem too much different. Here it is.
See, and my only thing is, and I can't see it being that far into development yet, is if it was so far into development that you're sitting there going, okay, we can't make a full-on Wii U game, because then we'd have to pretty much start from...
But you have to realize, as similar as the Wii U is going to be to the Wii,
Yeah.
it's a completely new architecture.
Oh, I know.
Meaning, this Wii first like old generation game is gonna have hooks to a newer console, taking up development space.
Oh, I know.
I don't.
So I'm really hoping it's just a Wii U version.
It should be.
The wording of the leaked rumor thing is.
And honestly,
just...
if they do a Wii U version, so much more dynamic stuff they can do.
Oh, I know.
So.
Which I know Junction Point will want to do, because that was the whole point of the Wii game, was to be
different.
Yeah. Which is kind of why because it's supposed to be released on all the consoles now, and that kind of doesn't bug me, because I want people to play these games because they're amazing, but at the same time, the whole point was that you had a paintbrush, and the Wii's controller let you do the whole paintbrush pointing, shooting kind of thing, so it just kind of felt more natural, but...
I don't know. Well, I think it's a game.
Yeah.
And for it to be, and it's the only logical way to save costs and money.
So.
Time is the bigger question.
Yes.
Cool. Let's see what we can do here. Sony PS Vita.
Mm-hmm.
The passport system kind of successful in Japan, which if you don't know, it's the system where you can plug in the PSP game into your PSP, go into the store, say that you have a digital version of it, you can pay a cheaper version for that PSP game that you own. Sony has abolished that plan in America, which it's not a huge... people are worried because they still want to play their PSP games.
Right.
But it doesn't affect me because I've either finished all my PSP games or don't have the motivation to finish them.
But you're going to keep your PSP.
Oh, I'm totally going to keep my PSP.
See, and I think...
So, it's just the hassle of carrying
the
PS Vita and the PlayStation Portable and the 3DS if you have a 3DS.
Yes. So,
I'm going to start having more gear in my bag than textbooks.
Yep.
I'd rather not do that.
But
and it's honestly just Persona 3 I'm still playing.
And to me, I don't know why they're not.
I think they should. That seems... I don't understand what the problem is, because along with this story, they also announced like 275 PSP titles that you can buy right now.
Yeah.
That will work on the Vita.
Yeah.
Day one. So.
And the one thing that really gets me, and I mean this might be why they're doing it and just not saying it, but places like GameStop, you trade in your PSP when you get the PlayStation Vita, and they'll give you like $20 or something off. So I'm thinking that could be they want people to keep their PSP systems and not get their PlayStation.
But they're not even being coy.
Cheaper, or
they're not being even coy about saying that they're phasing out the PSP. They're literally.
Oh yeah, no.
Because I tried downloading Final Fantasy V for my PSP the other day, or I said it was been last night.
Yeah.
And I downloaded it on my PS3, and said, okay, I'll just download it there and I'll transfer it over to my PSP. I plug in my PSP. There's no option to transfer games to the PSP. Like, they took it out of the firmware update, which I'm like, but there's a PlayStation Vita transfer spot on the top of the game section for games you can transfer over, but you can't transfer PSP games
over to the PS. Wow.
Unless you do it over the Wi-Fi on the PSP. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what?
See, that's where Nintendo does stuff pretty well, because they won't phase out a system till
No.
they know their next system's doing well enough.
Exactly.
Because honestly, if the 3DS would have completely bombed,
Yeah.
Nintendo would have gone back to the DS and just kept doing games until they could think of something else.
Or fixed it.
Yeah. Like, it literally would have been, 3DS? What 3DS? We played the DS all the time!
I'll be honest though, when the passport system,
yeah.
for the discounted versions of the digital games, they were cheaper by like $10 or so dollars. PSP games on the PlayStation Store right now, relatively cheap.
Yes.
So I was thinking of getting Ghost of Sparta because I haven't played. That's the one game God of War I haven't played. I think it's already like $15.
Yeah.
So it's not like.
But I think the point is if you've already bought the disc.
Yeah, technically.
Yes, you should get it cheaper.
Cheaper, if anything, cheaper. But it's a case by case basis, and who knows? They might bring it back.
Who knows? Yes. Yep.
I really think they should, just to appease the mass audience, because not everyone's like me.
Right. It's like there are people that still enjoy their stuff that they have on their PSP, and they don't want to carry around 5 different handheld games.
Yeah, that's why we buy one console preferably, because we don't.
Yeah.
That's why we have smartphones, because we don't have an iPod, a phone, and whatever phones used to do.
A calculator and
date.
Yeah.
The calendar thing. That's why we put it on all our phones now.
Remember when BlackBerry? I don't know. Was it Blackberries?
Palm Pilots.
Palm Pilots.
My dad used to own Palm Pilot.
I remember someone in my grade 9 class got a Palm Pilot, and it's like I can play chess on it. It's like,
I had one. I had a racing game on mine. It was pretty sweet.
There's a daytimer. That thing's amazing.
Oh man! And if I buy the modem card, I could connect to the internet with it. That just came out. Yeah, I did.
My Game Boy doesn't have that. There's this game coming out.
I like games that come out.
Gotham City Imposters.
I played a little bit of it.
Yeah, you did.
It's not bad.
You were lukewarm towards
it. Yeah, it's a competent shooter.
Well, if you really want to, you can spend $220 and get all the DLC.
How much? What do I get for $200?
It's pretty much all cosmetic. So like changing your character's shirts and all that stuff.
And I don't know if it says in the story. I think you can actually earn all of them in game.
That part I'm not sure about.
Because I think there's a bunch of things that you can earn, like you earn money and then you can unlock them.
So
at least that was in the beta.
And it probably is in the game too, because I know a lot of games do that. Like NHL 11 did that.
Any EA game.
Yeah.
Any EA sports game.
Like the sports games, they're like, here's the achievement you need to get to unlock this, new sports thing in the game,
Mm-hmm.
or you can just give us 200 Microsoft points and you can get it like that. And I'm like, seriously?
Here's $1. Apparently I can buy my achievements.
Apparently I can buy myself the best stuff, and which bugs me because a lot of the parts of a video game
I'll be honest.
are unlocking stuff.
I'll be honest. The cosmetic stuff doesn't change the game.
No.
No, so that's not as criminal.
No.
Pun intended.
To me this is a lot like TF2.
Yeah.
Here's your hats and all that kind of stuff.
I think that's what they're trying to.
Yeah, this is like here's you can change, make your character yours.
They're trying to sell hats.
Essentially, yes.
What they're trying to do, and I think their downfall. Well, not downfall, but the problem is that the floodgates are like go 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 go. You don't have enough time to see. Oh man, that guy's got a Santa hat, but that guy's got a Santa hat with like rockets coming out of it or something.
Well, and $220 worth of DLC is a lot of DLC that you have to go through, which is not an easy feat.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if there's an in-store thing.
I'm not sure. But
I know that the Sony one's probably in-store because they're.
The Xbox one probably would be too.
I think the both of them are.
It's a lot of DLC to go through.
And you know what? I've heard some pretty. Like the launch was not too smooth.
No.
I heard it's a little bit rocky.
So
this is.
That's a lot of money for DLC, especially right off the bat. Eh?
Exactly. That for a game maybe like Rock Band.
Yes.
That's understandable when.
But even at the beginning of Rock Band, they don't have that much DLC.
No.
Like they released Rock Band with all the songs, and then little by little they're like, "Hey, we've got more songs that we've worked on and finished. Here's more songs for DLC." When this much DLC comes out when a game's just released, it bugs me because you sit there going, "Well, that should be in the game then." Like that's like when DLC comes out and it's like and like you get the game, and then the next day they're like DLC, and you're like, seriously? And it's like, yeah, it's great, isn't it? DLC for it's $5 and you get this part of the game, and you're like, wait, why isn't that not in my game? Because
I don't know.
So that's just a lot of money. I found that quite funny.
They're too ambitious. Is the problem.
I think they're really just trying to push their game.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not a terrible game. It's just not great. So, oh well.
Anywho,
I like Portal 2 and Portal 1. Do you like Portal?
I like Portal.
You can buy a life-size Portal gun.
Yes, you can.
For 16,000 yen. Now, for those calcula controllers out there, that equates to about $200 US dollars. But to a life-size Portal gun.
Does it shoot portals, Tony?
I think you need the $50 attachment.
Oh.
I spent all my money on a Portal gun. I want it.
You know, if you had that, and then you could get I saw someone in their house. They had a hole in their wall that was shaped like a portal with a neon light around it.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
Well, you've been to my place. I'm thinking of putting like 2 mirrors, one on my one door and one right across from on the wall. It makes sense.
That would make sense.
I can do that.
Just don't try to walk through them.
Challenge accepted. I thought it was awesome. I want a Portal gun.
Portal.
And then I'll want the boots.
Yeah.
Because Portal guns uses the gravity boots.
No, you could still use it. You just have to make sure you weren't like, making a portal from the floor all to a very high ceiling or something.
Yeah, you'd be stuck in a loop. And even those are kind of hard to stay in because you gotta get it properly.
Well, then you get projected a lot farther the second time.
And then your chin hits the ground. And
oh, then you lose your head.
And then just falling blood.
Yeah.
The cops will be like, what the heck?
That's a cool prop though.
It's not a prop, it's a toy.
It's very expensive.
It's made by those crazy Japanese toy developers.
Yeah.
So I think you can pre-order it now.
If you could shoot Nerf balls out of it, that would be even better.
Don't give it. I would totally mod it and put like a speaker in it, and then make it do the portal sounds.
Yep.
I thought that was kind of awesome. It was just a little bit of badassness.
Oh yeah. There's another one at one of the Child's Play auction thing, and I forgot what gun it was. Something from BioShock or something. Either way, it was really cool. This guy keeps doing props for them every year, and the same guy buys them every single year. So this guy has like all of these props. So.
That's. They should make a Portal movie then, if they can make the gun.
Totally.
Oh man, but this is boring because Chell won't talk. It's like the Half-Life movie. That
you could just have Wheatley.
Oh right. Space. Let's go to space.
Movie done.
Let's go to space.
They should have us write it.
Just get Nolan North to voice it.
Do you like Jon Favreau? He might have directed that little Iron Man movie that came out.
He did Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah, did Cowboys and Aliens as well. And I'm getting into my movie news now, and because that's all I have left.
I've got a few.
Well, why don't you do that? There's a teaser. You do the rest of your gaming stuff then.
Okay. A quick one. If you have signed up for a PSN account in the last ever.
Yep.
You
no longer have a PSN account.
No, they send out emails.
Yep.
Now it is now called the Sony Entertainment Network, or SEN for short.
Sounds so bad.
I'm okay with it.
PSP or PSN sounded so much better though.
Well, because we're all used to it.
I know, but it sounds much better too.
Nintendo Wii.
I liked that though.
I hated the name.
As soon as they're like Nintendo Wii, I'm like, Wii!
I hated that name. Everyone hated that name with a passion. Wii! And then we're all used to it now. I think it's just because they want to encompass more of the Sony stuff.
Yes, all together.
Because the video store was flagged under the PSN. Yeah. Now it's SCN because you can get smart TVs. You can buy what do you call those things? Movies. Yep. On the smart TVs, stuff like that. I think that's effective immediately, and I think they also wanted to get it out before the Vita came out in North America and Europe. So little news like that. If you have Skyrim, you had on the PC, you can now get your workshop on, or not workshop, but mods.
Yep.
And it's super exciting because anybody can make a mod.
Yep.
Obviously, but then you just submit it to Steam, and then from Steam you can install any mod you find. And when they announced this, the Bethesda,
Yeah,
Bethesda really they made a montage of things that they were making while making this mod system. Sounds really weird, but they just to explain the scope of what you can do. You can build your own houses from scratch, from the ground up. You can ride dragons instead of horses, which is always awesome.
Yep.
You can fight a giant crab. You can make bigger giants in the game, and some of the bigger, more in-depth stuff you can do is you can add new talent trees.
Oh wow!
So you can go into actual lycanthropy and Draculaism, anything you want.
Wow.
So they're literally changing their game up, and they're giving you the tools to do it for free.
Wow.
Which is
super
exciting.
It's a really extensive mod.
There's almost nothing you can't change anymore in that game. To commemorate this, momentous mod occasion, they have teamed up with the Valve guys and created a portal mod.
Yep.
For Skyrim. Now it's not a portal gun, but
Wheatley's pretty much in the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's Wheatley. It's one of the.
It's one of the bots.
One of the
Emoto bots or whatever they are.
What are they called again? I don't remember.
Emotion cores or.
Cores, yeah, that's what they're called. Yeah. But when you install the mod, you'll walk into the game, and a meteor will fly from the sky and hit the ground, and it's one of the space cores.
Yeah. Because
it got lost in space, and it's an item you can pick up. You look in an inventory, and I think it's Nolan North's voice actually. He re-recorded some lines for it. So you can just pick up the item and have it in your inventory, and it's a core. There's really nothing you can do.
No, it's there.
It's novelty, is what it is. So I was excited for this. I can leave that one there. Some Double Fine news. I've got a pair of it. Notch is very vocal. He likes his video games. He does. A little bit. So he had sent out a tweet saying that he would, I don't remember what the exact words were, but it was something to the effect of... Let's make Psychonauts 2 happen, I do believe was... That's what he said. Yes. So Tim Schafer wakes up the next morning with a little more... A few more replies. A few more messages than usual saying stuff about Psychonauts 2. And he has told reporters he and Notch are in talks. Well, that's because he was trying to get all these other studios to do it. Exactly. And I think he tweeted that day, like, I can't find anybody to do Psychonauts 2. Yeah. No one wants to touch it. And I'm like, are people dumb? Do they? I think they're all allergic to money. I think that must be it. Because Notch isn't. He's just like... Yeah. Notch, it's like... Wait, no one wants, I'll take Psychonauts 2. You want me to help produce that game? How many zeros would you like on this check? Yeah, pretty much. So, Psychonauts is coming out soon. Psychonauts. Psychonauts. So is what it is. So exciting. That's really exciting to me. And the fact that Notch is involved in some way, shape, or form. Like also, so it's like so it's gonna be like make your own dream world. Like just not that he'll be all that involved in the actual making of the game, but I think he'll sit there going, I am giving you some money, so could you maybe do this for the Yeah, like make this level happen. And it's not like you're not gonna listen to Notch. He's got smart brain on his head. He's a little smart. Yep. So that's gonna happen. Tim Schafer will get back to us soon. Yes. How about that? And other Double Fine news, man, Tim Schafer's just all over the place this week. He's busy this week. So, Tim Schafer and Double Fine Productions are starting development on a new game, an adventure game, no less. Point and click or, something. One of those old classics, SUSCUM? SUSCUM, S-U, those, Dave the Tentacle, Full Throttle, those kind of games. Yep. So they're saying they've started production on one of those games, but they need our help. In funding their project. It's an expensive endeavor. Yeah, you need you need to pay wages, you need to pay fees, bills, stuff like that. So they went to Kickstarter.com, and for those who don't know what Kickstarter is, it's a website where you pledge money towards a cause, and if they don't raise enough money by X date, then you don't pay them money. They don't get their funding, and that's fine. Well, Double Fine Productions went to Kickstarter to start their adventure game project, and they set a goal of $400,000 in 33 days, maybe 34 days. They have to date raised $1,400,000 in less than 24 hours for this game.
That little indie game is now full throttle.
It might be a game that's in development now, guys. So I'm super excited. I pledged a little bit of money for it, guilty. Yep. So who knows what they're gonna do with all this extra money.
Well, they can't funnel it into one game.
No.
They can't.
So, which probably lends credence to more Psychonauts later on.
Yeah.
I mean, Schafer has already said any extra money past the $400,000 that they budgeted will go into further development of other platforms.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see at least an Xbox Live Arcade version coming out of this point and click. And then later on PSN or whatever it is. Yeah, so Double Fine Entertainment has broken Kickstarter records in 24 hours, raising $1 million.
It's not hard when you're Tim Schafer.
And yeah, all you gotta do is say I'm making a new game, and people will give you their all your babies.
Yeah, here's my firstborn and my lastborn. I don't want your last. Too bad. Take it. You can do whatever you want with it.
And you can have anyone else in between too.
Yeah.
Apparently.
You want the middle child? No one wants the middle child.
Rude. So, I'm super excited for that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about you.
I love Double Fine stuff.
I love adventure games, especially if it's made by Tim Schafer and Ron Gilbert.
Well, what made me
because
laugh,
they got back together.
Yeah. What made me really laugh about the whole Notch thing too is after he had said that, he's like, yeah, you can buy Psychonauts here. It's only $10. And he found this one website online where you can buy the digital copy of Psychonauts, and then all these people are like, hey, Notch, we hate to call you a moron, but it's also on like Xbox Live Arc, like it's also on the XBLA and the PSN and Steam and this, and it's $10 like everywhere you go. And he's like, okay, everybody, just go onto your system, whichever you like playing on, and go buy Psychonauts. Because he's like, if you haven't played it, it's worth it. Trust me, go buy it.
It's a little bit awesome.
And for $10, he's like, honestly, you will not. You know, he's like, it's a great game. So.
Mm-hmm. So.
I just love how he's like all like Psychonauts now.
Yeah, maybe that's his new game.
So, and then still on the cusp of. You know, Notch and all that stuff. The Minecraft update for the Android devices should be coming out tonight.
Ooh, is this like more adventure update or just... Ooh, jealousy.
So, and the only reason it's not coming out on iOS right away is because it has to go through Apple's whole process and then it'll come out. So, it is coming out for the Apple. It's just in the approval process right now.
Expect it maybe later this month.
Yeah. So
Apple's a little slow for that kind of stuff.
Android pretty much puts it out on the market and then takes it off the market if it violates stuff.
Mm.
So it like goes on, and then if you download it quick enough, you get it.
Apple's like that too.
Because there's people like on Android that literally re-released Super Mario Bros. Like no emulators, nothing. It's like, here's Super Mario Bros. So people download it, and then the next, like everybody's like, go download this game, and then you go on the market and it's gone because they're like, that was copyright infringement. Oops.
Because there's nobody looking over.
Because nobody, yeah, they don't have
checkers.
They don't have a process. They're just like, it goes on the store until we figure out it shouldn't. Oops. So.
Okay.
Movie and TV, or do you got
one big one?
Oh, that's right.
David Jaffe,
yes,
the co-founder of Eat, Sleep, and Play, who is which is the company in charge of the Twisted Metal game coming out in February soon.
Soonish.
Next week, Friday.
Yes.
Next week, Tuesday. So that game's coming out soon. He has left Eat, Sleep, Play, the company that he founded, again. So. His response to this was in fact in due part of budget cuts. The Eat, Sleep, and Play, after they've done Twisted Metal, are switching development to mobile games, which kind of a weird choice, seeing as how you're the company that's rebooting one of the biggest franchises of the PlayStation days.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, and the fact that David Jaffe's leaving yet again. Like he started, I don't think he started Santa Monica Studios. But he was definitely a huge part of it with God of War, and we know where that is now. So something about this doesn't feel right to me. I mean, he wanted to go off and do his own thing, and he did it.
Yeah.
Calling All Cars was let's be honest, was not a very successful game. And he realizes this, so that's why he did Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just think that's really weird for him to. Do you think the Switch?
Unless he doesn't feel good about the whole mobile thing, like.
Well, there's also a bunch of budget cuts inside the company as well, which
there usually are once a game's done.
So maybe he wants to keep everyone else's jobs by, or minimal damage by saying, "Okay, guys, you could just go."
Yeah.
So.
Because a lot of times that happens with game development. Because the game finishes,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden half the staff gets fired. Because
Well, a lot of it's like QA and stuff, so then you don't really need that much QA once you're just out the door.
well, and a lot of it's contract work, right? Like you get in there, you sign a contract that says once this game's done, like you're working on this game. Once it's done, once the game's done, you're done. Like that coming into it. So a lot of times those kind of things get blown out of proportion because all of a sudden 500 people lose their job at Junction Studios or something like that, and you're like, oh, and then they come out going, well, yeah, they were. They were hired to work on this game.
They were only on for like 3 months, and if they're on 3 months and they don't get signed on and the game's not done yet, they're gone.
Yeah.
So
that's
how it works.
That's how that industry works. So that's kind of. But I have a feeling maybe that it could be part of him wanting to help other people's jobs because it is David Jaffe. It's not like he's not going to get another job. And
when you have God of War and Twisted Metal
under your belt,
you're kind of the guy.
And maybe he just doesn't feel like he can. Go to the mobile gaming scene.
Yeah, I think he might be. He did start his own company, but he always has the faith towards Sony. Yeah. So maybe he'll move back to Sony.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Go make a new something.
God of War 4.
Sure.
No. No, that'd be weird. God of War has always had a different director all the time.
But who knows what he'll do?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he's not going to make it anymore.
He might just even want to break. He might even just want to break. Because he did start Twisted Metal from nothing.
True.
And it's a little bit of a different game. Now there's Transformers and stuff. Well, that's cool. That's alright. It's a natural evolution of vehicle
combat games.
Things. Starhawk has it.
Wasn't a fan of that. Tried it.
The beta?
Yep.
Oh.
Not a fan.
No.
No.
Anything? Just shooting part of it?
I don't know. It just felt clunky to me.
It gets a little bit, takes a while to get used to it.
Yeah. So. Either way.
Mm-hmm. I'm out. But you have a little bit more.
I have TV movie stuff now, so.
Yes, we'll get into that.
Okay, so again, Jon Favreau.
I enjoy Jon Favreau.
He's pretty good at what he does. Then there's Eric Kripke. He might have started a show called Supernatural. And then there's J.J. Abrams.
He's controversial.
Who every once in a while pulls off something cool. Well, either way, there's a pilot for a show called Revolution. It's from J.J. Abrams and Eric Kripke.
Sold.
And the first episode is being directed by Jon Favreau.
Doesn't Favreau do movies?
Yeah. And TV.
What is this show about? It's like Iron Man mixed with monster hunting and Star Trek.
High concept action drama that follows a group of characters struggling to survive and reunite with loved ones in a world where all forms of energy have mysteriously ceased to exist.
Wouldn't we just die?
This is the first time Jon Favreau has done a TV show. So
I'm really liking these big name movie people getting into small
There's a lot of money in TV though.
Yeah, there is. Like we just talked about a couple weeks ago with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Getting like all those Marvel actors into the voices.
Yeah.
Of Spider-Man.
There's a lot more of that crossover now where TV isn't like movies' ugly stepbrother.
Yeah,
now it's like people who act in Hollywood movies sit there going, they get a TV offer and they're like, cool, I can do that. Yeah.
And it's not like it takes a long time either.
No.
Because the shooting is probably just like a day and that's it.
Depending on what kind of show you're doing.
Yeah, and not even a full day. Like all you got to do is like a couple hours.
Yeah, walk in and just kind of
say your lines.
Yep.
Do a retake here or there, and then you call it a day.
Yep. So
that'll be exciting.
That is exciting. So
I like this movie because
it's a rumor, and it's a rumor that has been quashed. Unfortunately.
Tomato sauce.
But there was a rumor earlier this week that Harrison Ford was in talks to star in Blade Runner 2. But they have now come out saying that they don't even have a screenplay yet for Blade Runner 2.
But it's on the table.
Blade Runner 2 is going to be made, but they have no idea what the story is yet. So they're like, we haven't even thought about casting because we have no characters.
I'm excited for that, though. Yeah, that's...
But I'm hoping they're still talking to Harrison Ford, like, once we get this thing done.
What are you doing after this? What are you doing after whatever you're doing?
Yeah.
You kidding me? I will drop whatever I'm doing to do this.
Yeah. So, but he didn't really like Blade Runner. Harrison Ford really didn't like doing Blade Runner in the first place. So...
Well, that's okay. I'm pretty sure he doesn't really want to come back and do Indiana Jones after...
Shia LaBeouf.
Movie that doesn't exist.
It exists.
There's
just a certain... There's just a certain actor that doesn't exist in it.
Aliens.
But it'd be cool to see him in Blade Runner 2.
Would be very... I'm excited to see him anytime.
Yeah.
Honestly. But he just makes that much better of an action hero.
Yep. So, and then I found this one earlier this week too, which just kind of made me laugh. And at the same time, after being irresponsible, shows how responsible this current actor is. But Daniel Radcliffe has come out and said he's an alcoholic and seeking help for it. And he has also reportedly said that when he showed up to film on the set of the last Harry Potter movie that he was actually drunk. So there's scenes in the Harry Potter movie that he's actually wasted.
I'm pretty sure those got cut.
No, they're in there.
He said they're in
Yep. Because he's like, there's scenes I can tell where I'm just like, I'm gone. And I'm like, I thought, like, honestly, when I watched the last movie, sometimes his face looked like he was, like, it looked like he was sleepwalking that day while they were acting.
Mm-hmm.
But the character, luckily Harry Potter has a lot of those moments in the last book.
No, maybe he was getting into character.
There you go.
He was doing research for the movie.
And the whole reason behind his drinking problem was the fact that he found it really hard to make friends because everybody wanted to be friends with him because he was Harry Potter.
That's that's fair.
When
He should have gone to Twitter.
But honestly, that made sense to me. When you're Harry Potter since you're, what, 12?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
It's a big shoes to keep filling.
Yeah. Like, and he's 20 now, so that's, 8 years of being Harry Potter. Well, you're going to run into a lot of people who just want to be friends with you because you're famous.
It's true.
So Jesse, he said he'd go home at night and drink because he had no actual friends.
I would imagine you make friends on set.
And yes, that was those are the guy things. And that's why I'm sitting there going, well, call the soulless ginger. There's a few of them on that movie. Come on now.
They need help.
Yeah.
One of them's relatively attractive.
So start calling your friends. So either way, he's seeking help. It's all good.
It's fine.
The team who did Transformers, minus the director that shall not be named,
Eh.
are working on another Lestat movie, which, for those of you that don't know, is Anne Rice's vampire trilogy type, or not trilogy, her vampire series.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one is The Tale of the Body Thief, because apparently you can just skip the vampire Lestat.
I can't say I've seen it.
There's Interview with the Vampire.
Yes.
And that actually mixed Vampire Lestat and Interview with the Vampire, the books.
Oh, okay.
Then they came out with Queen of the Damned,
Which
shouldn't have been made
a movie
into a movie.
The movie.
The book was good.
Oh yeah.
And now they're doing Tale of the Body Thief, so it's kind of just this, they keep transitioning, these books into movies, and they keep ignoring the last movie. Tom Cruise is not going to be in this flick.
But why not?
Because he wasn't Lestat in the last one.
But he's crazy.
Yep.
Oh.
So.
Oh well.
Either way.
That's any word of if it's done, like screenplay.
Oh no. So.
They're just doing it.
It's in development. It has not been pinned. It's not even pinned to a studio yet.
Oh. So no proposals have been made.
It's literally the team behind Transformers.
How would you advertise that to a company like, guys, we did the Transformers movie.
Now we want to do this vampire flick.
Michael's not around anyway, so we got the movie.
Yeah, I don't know how you really...
Like...
I don't know.
Because I'm not saying that's some big shoes to fill, but those completely different sized shoes.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to... Yeah, it's like...
You're going to turn this thriller into an action movie.
Yeah.
With explosions.
And transforming robots.
Nope.
Transforming.
Michael, get back. Michael, get back in the car.
The coffins transform, guys.
No, it doesn't.
And then that car flips on the road.
And we'll use the same scene from the island.
Yep.
I got this, guys.
Yeah. We'll just stick a vampire in there instead.
Over the Transformer. Of the scene that we copied from the first. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you really go. It's like, we're the team from Transformers minus that big name guy that we don't want to talk about.
Michael Bay's Transformers.
Yeah. It's not Michael Bay and team. It's just Michael Bay. Now we all know Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to be in the new Expendables movie.
Clearly not being a governor. Ha!
Yeah.
Don't pork people.
But him and Stallone have now signed on to do a duo movie. So the first time ever that the two biggest action heroes of the 80s are getting together to do a
Only news Van Damme.
duo movie. They're doing a buddy movie, but it's not a buddy movie. It's just going to be a major action flick. I love that Stallone is actually bringing those movies back.
I feel bad about Expendables 2 though.
I still feel bad about Expendables 2, but I blame Chuck Norris.
Oddly enough, we blame Chuck Norris. The one guy that would have made it awesome.
Yeah. But either way, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone are starring in an action thriller called The Tomb.
Who's writing it? Is Stallone writing it?
Being produced by a lot of people.
Wow. Well,
Written by Miles Chapman for the screen.
I thought that said Bambi for a second. Where was it Rambo? I'm like, what does Bambi have to do with this movie?
So,
Anyways.
Stallone is a structural security person, and he analyzes every high security prison. Blah 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 blah. He has a lot of survival skills. So essentially, he's just Sylvester Stallone.
Mm-hmm.
And Schwarzenegger plays an inmate from prison, which apparently Stallone ends up in, obviously. So.
I've seen Schwarzenegger in too many hero roles. It's hard to see him as a bad guy. I don't think he's ever been a bad guy other than the first Terminator.
Yeah.
Other than that one. Like, everything I've seen him in is either hero or governor.
So, it's so cool, though, to have.
Oh, it's
both
totally
of them
gonna
in
be
a movie
awesome. It's
together.
totally awesome.
Yeah. Just in an
It's
action.
it's all gonna build up to like the last fight scene, which is gonna be like 30 minutes long with them punching each other in the face.
Yep. And then, because this series just can't die, no matter how hard, you know.
Twilight?
No, unfortunately.
Oh.
Because that would be great if that was just over and done with for the rest of my
Stop
life.
production.
And erase everybody's memory.
Men in Black 3.
Yeah. Maybe that's how Men in Black 3 should open, with them just like zapping everybody and being like, yeah, that Twilight doesn't exist.
No, they can't say Twilight. They'll be like, vampires don't sparkle.
Yeah.
And then that's all they say. Yes.
Either way.
What else isn't trying? What else isn't dying?
Smallville is.
Damn it.
It's not a TV series. Don't worry.
Damn it.
But it's following suit of Buffy and Angel and coming out with its next season in comic book form.
Damn it.
The only promising thing is the cover for the first one.
Oh, is he actually Superman?
He's
then?
in the Superman costume.
Finally.
So.
No, that's not a cape though, is it? Oh, it is a cape. I was looking at the
There's
letters.
the cape.
I was looking at the letters.
Yeah.
Like,
So.
Who's bringing it up?
Ryan Q. Miller from Batgirl.
Okay.
And Miller's Batgirl partner, Pierre Perez, is doing the artwork.
Dark Horse, I'm guessing?
It
no, I
should
guess
be
it's
DC.
DC, that's right. It would be DC. Derp.
So it's essentially a new Superman comic. But with its backstory already written in the last 10 or 11 seasons of Smallville. So.
That would be a good marathon, actually. Like, how many Smallville episodes can you watch? We would get past, like, the first 2 seasons, and then it would just be like,
And then the rest of them are all the same.
Yeah.
So.
Lana gets in trouble.
Yeah. And then he must save her. So it starts, you can get the first issue on April 13th of 2012.
Oh, okay.
With new chapters being released every week.
Oh? Cool.
So
I bet you on the digital in the bookstore too, the DC app.
So the little thing is 6 months after Clark Kent donned the cape and took to the skies to save Earth from apocalypse, enter season 11.
Oh, are they calling it season 11 like Buffy?
I believe that's pretty much what they're doing.
That's so. You can only do that if it's if it was popular. I guess it was popular.
It was, but I don't think it's been enough time. Like, to me, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Buffy had this long break, and all of a sudden they're like, you know what, let's do this.
Yeah, we have the story written for it.
Yeah. Which was a weird story.
That's okay.
But...
You know what, if it would have been a much mind-trippier...
So this is essentially Clark's first year as Superman.
Superman year 1?
Yeah. So...
It only works for Batman.
And then you had movie news and TV
Yes.
news, so...
I just got the one.
Okay.
I don't watch the series, but I know that a lot of other people watch it.
I haven't watched this season.
Okay.
But
well, House is it. That's it. He's putting up his...
He's hanging up his stethoscope.
Coat. He's hanging up his coat.
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't wear a coat.
No.
Yeah, it's done. House, how many seasons has it gone on for?
This is it. It's in its 8th season.
So after the 8th season,
yep,
it is no longer a thing. And you know, I think it's probably for the better, because from what I've been told, the story is really weird now because they're changing characters left, right, and center.
Well, this season the only person that was still signed on was Hugh Laurie.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of got everybody back on a 1-season contract that they could, and characters left, and House was in jail, so a lot of time had passed because he got out of jail. Like, that's how the show started, was he had 1 episode in jail,
mm-hmm.
and then he got out.
Mm-hmm.
But he had been in there for quite a while, so the hospital had changed, like, people who he used to work with were now in charge of the hospital, and his team, of course, had disbanded, because without House, you don't have a team, and... Yeah, it got weird, and then all of a sudden there was new people, and I'm like, it's one of those ones I'll have to buy on DVD and actually.
Well, even then.
But I honestly think after 8 years, it's kind of just it's a long time.
But you know, it's taking the graceful way and saying, we realize we're done. And
they'll have an actual ending. Mm-hmm. And I think honestly, with a show that's named after a character, like obviously House has to involve House.
Yeah, you can't just kill him off.
You can't just take House out of the equation and keep going with the show.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like ER, which went on for 13 seasons. Because they could keep moving doctors around and that kind of... Like, you know, all of a sudden the cast was completely different than the first cast they ever had on the show. You can't do that with House because...
Richard Gere. No,
House
that wasn't Richard Gere.
George Clooney was
George Clooney, that's what I was thinking.
But Hugh Laurie always has to be on House.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way
And you know what? This frees him up to do other things, too.
Well, and he's got his jazz album out, so
yeah.
He's been touring with his little jazz blues group. Hopefully he'll start doing a little bit more comedy stuff again.
I would really love to see him in like a comedic movie.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see him doing movies and stuff.
Or
like
him tagging along with
him and Stephen Fry have to get something done.
Yeah, like do something, or a comedy tour with those two would be just that'd sell out.
Oh yeah,
everywhere.
Because that's Hugh Laurie has so much more he can do, and
not that he's not bad in House. That's just he's his glass ceiling with that character. I think because if they keep going on with House, they're just gonna keep messing up his character persona.
Well, and they almost had him broken and changed in 1 season, and then everything reverted back. So like it doesn't matter how much House grows in a season. By the end of it, he will always revert back to the same old guy.
That's good.
Like he never learns his lesson.
Well, I guess
that's his character flaw, is that like he can grow to love someone, but it doesn't matter because eventually he'll figure out that love is just like fake, or that he's not supposed to feel that way, so he just won't anymore. And you're like, oh, House, would you ever be happy?
How cold.
Like they actually had him off drugs for most of the season.
Weird.
So.
Oh well.
So yes, that's...
Oh well, though, you know. Yep. It's good. It's good. 8 seasons is a fairly good run.
That's like they said, by the end of it, they'll have 177 episodes. And that's 175 more than they thought they'd actually have.
Yeah. It wasn't gonna do anything.
Like the people who created that show really didn't expect it to catch on like it did. So, I know I have our site open somewhere. I just haven't updated it in a bit. There we go.
Sunday.
Dun, dun, dun,
I don't even remember what I
dun.
posted on Sunday.
Didn't you do another Spider-Man thing?
No.
No? What did you do Sunday?
Don't tell me. No.
Hold on.
Oh, it was a Pokemon.
Yes!
It was
that's
Pikachu
what it was.
dubbing. He was singing a song for
That's
us.
what it was.
He was singing a song.
Pokemon.
Rickrolling.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of editing in that video. Not gonna lie. Having the mouth sync with Pikachu, kind of difficult. Although. So that's cute. I like
that was cute, yes. And then our newscast finally made it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! Thank you, stupid computers that don't like doing things that I want you to do.
Well, that's because you have like 10 jillion tabs open.
No, I meant on my other computer.
Oh, yeah.
When Final Cut doesn't want to cooperate.
That's it, fuck
me.
you.
Yeah.
So, what was our question this week?
Our question this week, because every once in a while I just, bring up random stuff.
She did it again this week.
Ah.
That
Yay. What was your favorite fruit? What is your favorite fruit? And I don't know why I came up with this question. I think I was eating an apple and I'm like, hey.
Apple's a fruit.
Apple's a fruit. Let's go with that. Because I had no question and I was just, my mind was like, not there. So I'm like, hey.
Next week we'll do what's your favorite ice cream flavor. Everyone will vote for everything.
Yeah. I don't like ice cream.
Oh. What's your favorite pizza flavor? Pizza's a flavor.
Pizza comes in flavors. Strawberry one.
It's shocking. So no surprise there.
You know, it's my favorite fruit taste-wise. I just don't like eating them.
Isn't that the part of tasting it?
Well, but if I mash them up.
Oh, you like strawberry juice? You like strawberry Slurpees?
Yeah, or like
okay.
strawberry smoothies and stuff. Like I love that kind of. I just, for whatever reason, I just absolutely can't stand like sitting there with a box of strawberries eating them.
Maybe it's the leaves.
No, I don't know.
Not
I don't know what. I think maybe it's the inside part. Like sometimes you get
fuzzies.
No, like that little white stuff inside.
Yeah. The fuzzy inside.
I'm not sure if that throws me off. I don't know what it is.
It throws me off a little, but then I'm like, delicious.
Exactly, but then you sit there going, these are so good. That's why I like putting them in smoothies because you still get the same taste, but or strawberry jam. I love strawberry jam.
Some preservatives, yeah. Some strawberry preservatives.
Pomegranate and kiwi tied for second.
Pomegranate, it's so weird.
So messy.
Yeah.
The trick is opening them underwater, by the way. That's pro tip right there. Unless you like the juice, in which case that doesn't work.
You're doing it wrong.
Because then you don't get the juice. But of course, when you open a pomegranate, the juice ends up over everything. So unless you're licking it off the walls in your carpet, you don't really get juice anyways. And I'm not a fan of kiwis.
Kiwis are great in yogurt. Chop them up in little bits, throw them in yogurt.
I've never been a kiwi fan.
Well, I think it's too much work for something so small. Because you gotta peel it, and then if you want to cut it, you can cut it, but then that's it. Like, it's done in like 2 bites.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is I put it into yogurt, which helps because it's tasty.
And then you voted mango.
Mangoes are delicious.
Mango's quite far down on this nice little list.
I hate you all. I should put lychee just to spite you all, because nobody eats lychee.
I eat lychee. I don't buy lychee, but I eat them.
Okay.
Like, if someone has lychee nuts, because they have no idea what they are, I'll eat them. Even though they look like testicles. Shh. They do. You open them up, and you could literally, like, scare people with them. Because that's what people ask when I'm at work, because I work in a produce department, and they're like, what are these? And you're like, do you want to try one? So you crack it open, and they're looking at it like...
Don't bite all the way down.
It's actually even better with persimmons. Not persimmons? No, not persimmons. It'll come to me. After this podcast is done, it'll come to me.
What kind of fruit is it?
It's a citrus thing.
Lemons?
No.
Limes?
No.
Orange?
No.
Grapefruit?
They're like this big.
Tangerines?
Kumquats!
See? I was going to keep throwing words at
Because kumquats you actually eat with the skin still on.
Mm-hmm.
And they are sour as sour can be. So when people ask when I work, they're like, "What are these and what do they taste like? Would you like to try one?" Sure. I'm like, "Hey, you're supposed to just bite right in. They are so sour, people's lips do this." And you're like, ha 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 ha.
You're doing it wrong. Oh.
You're supposed to cut them up and put them into salads and stuff. But and tomato got a whole vote.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. Gooseberries are good too.
I totally forgot about those. I knew about them, but I just...
They're also a pain in the butt, though.
It's not... They're expensive.
And, yeah, they're really pricey. So...
Mm-hmm. So that's good.
We got a nice array of stuff, though.
Yes. It's a good response this week.
Mm-hmm.
How many votes?
51.
Yeah. That's good. Seeing, but some people like to vote.
Some people
don't understand the...
This 51 means 51 people.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So... Some people just like every single fruit, apparently.
Which is honestly fair.
Which is fair, but then just put all. Make that an option.
We should just put that on there.
Yeah, for the next one, I'll just... Everything.
Yeah, if we're adding an option, we'll just put all as an option in the first place.
I like all, because I can't make up my mind.
I want all the pizza flavors on one pizza. Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Tuesday, which is... Binding of Isaac?
Yes.
Yes.
Which I already...
Well, we won't. Rewind if you would like to hear.
Yeah, watch last week's podcast and this week's podcast. Honestly, it's a cheap game.
Yes,
it's a fun game.
Yes.
And it's got a lot of replay value.
It's got a lot of content, and it's just completely unique.
Yeah.
For what it looks like. Right?
Yeah. And it stars a small little naked boy. For that niche audience.
You're saying that niche audience enjoys a small naked boy for the price of $5?
Yes. There's
depressing.
There's those two people out there.
I'm kind of excited that they don't go to their website.
Hump Day Humor was Hump Day Humor as usual.
Yeah.
Random pictures on the internet.
Super Bowl flavored.
This one a little Super Bowl flavored because it was football, so he aimed for one ball, he got two.
Oh yeah, there's a Super Bowl thing. Oh, that's what we forgot to talk about.
Okay, yeah, stay tuned after
I guess
our site news for extra movie news,
I
guess.
To quickly mention that.
And then today's review was...
Machete.
Machete.
I don't remember how the... Machete. That's not even the way that in the movie they pronounce his name funny. It spawned off those Grindhouse movies because of the trailers, if you remember. It's not good, but it's really funny.
That's why I got the seal of okay.
It's okay. It's okay. It's just really cheesy. There's one-liners up the wazoo. There's just action from... If you like really hot girls, I guess you can watch this movie because it's just filled to the brim with those.
But I think that's the whole point of these.
It's just not...
They're aiming for cheese.
They're aiming for cheese. I really like the whole crazy immigration things that they're trying to... Because 90% of the cast is Mexican other than Robert De Niro.
Yep.
And I guess the whatever pro-white peopleness. I guess, I don't know. That's funny because I'm studying the Civil War in history right now. So it's like, what was the Civil War about? It's funny. It's funny. There's explosions. There's gun shooting. The guy's got a machete.
So more of a mindless movie to kind of
turn your brain off,
watch the movie,
and then just like, dude just cut his intestine out and used it to rappel down a building.
And you need that every once in a while in your life. Like you need that kind of movie where.
Oh, I was gonna say you need to use someone's intestine as a rappelling rope.
Oh, who doesn't? At least once in your life. That's like on that list, right? That
it's my bucket list.
Yeah, before you die.
Just
rappel with intestine.
It's points for screaming person.
So
I feel as if it could be. It's one of the like last week's movie Ninja. Was it last week? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Mexican, so it's Spanish, and there is subtitles, but it's not done bad because if they're speaking Spanish, they're speaking Spanish.
Oh, that's
and if
good.
they're speaking English, they're speaking English.
Yeah.
There's no differential, unless that's like some sort of derogatory thing that they say in Spanish. Because swearing just sounds so much cooler when you say it in a different language.
Always, yeah. Always. Doesn't matter where you're from.
Don't shoot a pigu.
So,
yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
But not
great.
Not a great movie, but
Good.
you know.
Good movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then yes, the stuff we forgot to talk about.
We forgot to talk about some huge things.
Yes.
I watched. Apparently, while I was waiting for the Avengers trailer to come out on Sunday, there was a Super Bowl.
Apparently, yeah, there was this football game going on.
I don't know. I was waiting for the Avengers trailer.
Yeah. There's this football game that got in the way,
yeah,
and then I think Madonna came out.
I'm 60, and I know it. I got nothing. Anyways, so the Avengers trailer.
Yes.
It appeared during the football.
Yep.
The short one.
The short version.
Which kind of a bug off. So, but anyways, you can go online and see it 5 minutes later.
It made me laugh because I watched it. Xbox on Xbox Live has Super Bowl, a Super Bowl channel.
Okay.
That they set up. So you go on there, and then there's a link straight to commercials.
Oh, that's handy.
So after the Super Bowl, they all ended up on there through YouTube. So you go on. I'm like, okay, cool. So I went on there. I went through the long list of commercials, and finally it's like the Avengers. I'm like, yes.
But it's like the 10-second one.
So you watch it, and it's like, well, that was pretty good. And then it's like, watch the extended one on our Facebook page, and I'm like,
well, I could have just done that from the beginning.
So I'm sitting there, I'm looking at my Xbox, like, I hate you. I hate you. I could have just gone online and watched the extended trailer.
The one thing I want.
Thanks.
So I ended up seeing that too. So, it's a good trailer.
Yep.
Feels completely different from the first trailer they released.
Yes.
Because the first one, I think they used 9 Inch Nails or...
I forgot now.
Some band. But yeah, this one seems a lot more focused.
And the extended one has everybody.
Yes.
So you see a little bit of Black Widow action, you see a little bit of Hawkeye action.
Yeah, that's one thing that everyone's been missing is what is Hawkeye going to do other than shoot arrows? Oh wait, he shoots arrows.
That's what he does.
And he makes fun of people while he's doing it.
And we got a little more. We got a lot of Hulk action.
Yeah, a lot more Hulk. Yeah, there's
a
good couple of clear shots of the Hulk now.
Yeah, and then there's some new shots that had effects added over shots that we've previously seen. So
from the first trailer,
there's Loki doing some stuff, and then some unbeknownst alien
/ maybe
frost giant.
We don't know.
That's the thing, they keep us guessing. So
the one thing I totally forgot about it until I was what was I? I was in religion class this morning. I don't know why I remembered it in religion class.
Because we remember the most random things at school.
Yes.
But yes.
What cube is it called again?
Cosmic cube.
Cosmic cube.
Yep.
They found that.
Yep.
So, people are totally forgetting that this is the factor that pushes the Avengers movie in.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm starting to think that because I was doing a little bit of reading on it, and it's supposed to be some sort of like Norse? No, wherever Thor's from.
Norse.
Asgard.
Norse, yeah.
It's some Asgard like weapon.
In the in the comics themselves, everybody's pretty much after the cosmic cube.
Right. And obviously, because Red Skull's off there and blah blah blah.
In the comics, it's Galactus that comes after this thing, and it's actually the tool that Reed Richards he builds a cosmic cube to destroy Galactus, or to keep him at bay. But then people keep coming after the cosmic cube because it literally, in the comics at least, when you hold it, it grants your greatest desire. So if your greatest desire is to rule over the universe, it ought you rule over the universe. It doesn't make it feasible; it makes it so.
So what happened to the Red Skull then at the end of?
Well, I think they've kind of changed the cosmic cube around a bit.
Oh, okay.
And obviously, Red Skull's not dead.
Well, we didn't see his dead body, for starters.
So.
Do you think it's Hydra?
Yes, he's part of Hydra.
No. Do you think Hydra will be in the Avengers movie?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
I think Hydra should be a part of the Avengers movie.
With the way that they've changed enough stuff from all the comics because they're taking kind of a bunch of different comic book things and throwing them together. It's tough to say where everything's gonna head, especially since all we know is Loki's the bad guy. We don't know if Galactus is involved or.
I don't think Galactus.
But we don't know. We don't know if the Skrulls are involved. We don't know if it's just frost giants sided with Loki coming after Earth. We don't know. There's a lot of villains in the Marvel universe, and we don't know, who's doing what and who's coming in and all that kind of fun stuff.
I thought it was gonna be the Skrulls. I'm not so sure anymore because I was thinking it could be the Cosmic Cube, so it's probably some sort of. Because all the other different worlds are connected, not just
through the little world tree thing. Yeah.
So it could be.
There's a lot of stuff that can happen.
So.
And then we got that really nice, awesome team shot.
Yes, the money shot.
Yeah.
It's the money shot of everyone in the movie that's important.
Yeah. Doing the whole circle
360.
around, yeah. And then there's the other great shot that had the Hulk and was it the Hulk or was it Hawkeye? And then Cap and then Black Widow hiding behind Cat as he held up a Cat.
If you notice on that screen in that little bit, it's Captain the Cap protecting Black Widow, but Thor's all like, "Come at me, bro!"
That's true, yeah. Thor's just like,
"Come at me, bro!"
I'm Thor.
Come at me, bro! It's like explosions coming at him. I'm like, that's something he would do.
Yeah.
That's something he would do. Come at me, bro.
Yep. Another trailer this week was The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yes, super exciting, super good, super awesome.
And I was leery. I liked the casting that they were doing other than Sally Field. She is still...
Isn't she Aunt May?
Yes.
Okay.
So that still throws me off a tad, but that's just me. That's a personal thing. Sally Field's a fine actress, you know.
You don't think she has the balls to be Aunt May?
I just don't... To me, she doesn't make a good Aunt May. Like, Aunt May, to me, they did really good in the other Spider-Man movies because that was the older Aunt May.
Well, that's what that's all I've...
It was supposed to be the older grandmother type of Aunt May.
Well, you have to keep in mind this is like way early.
But then in the Ultimate Comics, you have an Aunt May who's kind of a hippie. So she's not old because she's not Grandma. She's Aunt May.
Well, I guess they are saying that they're following the Ultimates.
They're going closer to the Ultimates. They're not following the Ultimate Comics, but so in those comics, she's still got the gray hair, but she's younger. So she's still kind of got like that cool aunt vibe instead of the older elderly, like cares for me vibe. She's got like this, I'm the cool aunt who still cares way too much for, you know, everybody around me and all that kind of stuff. So she's still got the nurturing, caring type, but she's still got like the, I'm cool and everything is, you know.
But this is the first trailer that we saw, or we've seen, with clear lizard shots.
With lizard shots and...
Like web shooters, we've
and
got...
Gwen Stacy, and...
Like, everything that people are wanting is more or less clearly in the trailer. If you pause it at certain spots, you can see action shots.
And then you also get the part, and it looks like Gwen Stacy's pretty much going to know Peter Parker's secret pretty quick.
Now, is that a thing that happens in the comics? From my recollection, Gwen Stacy never did.
No, in the 616 universe, she didn't.
Okay, and that's the originals.
That's the originals. In the Ultimate Comics, a lot of people knew who Peter Parker was because he kept screwing up a lot.
Okay.
And then his friends, he started telling some of his friends. So Gwen Stacy knew and Mary Jane knew.
Well, there's a bunch of shots in the movie itself, in the trailer, of Parker doing Spider-Man things too.
Yes, like he's on a subway hanging from a ceiling, and you're like...
He's in an alley jumping over dudes out of the suit. They rip his mask off in the trailer.
And they've done that in the comics before, and like they did in the movie, it's dark.
Yeah.
So no one's actually going to see...
Yeah, but there's always that one weird shot.
Yeah. And like you said, you were happy with the whole vigilante...
Yes, I'm very happy because I didn't like They kind of did it in the first Spider-Man movie.
Yes.
They made Spider-Man the bad guy in terms of he's a vigilante, and then they kind of just sweep it off to the side in the other movies. Aside from other things that they've done wrong.
What really happened in the last two was they worked way too quick into... J. Jonah Jameson still hated Spider-Man, but everybody else in the city was he was now like...
A fan.
He was, everybody was fans of Spider-Man.
There's Spider-Man Day, blah, 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 blah.
Whereas in the comics, it takes a really long time till people actually appreciate what he does for the city.
I would be so elated if that was if you watch the trailer, it's Chief Stacy.
Yeah.
I don't remember his first name. Something Stacy.
He's a police chief either way.
There's a scene in the trailer where he is at a meeting and he's proclaiming Spider-Man as a vigilante. That should be the last scene. I would love more than anything for them to be like, we need to find Spider-Man and get him.
It depends on how fast they get into the movie too, because
well, that's another thing that people are thinking about. Like, they're not going to kill off Ben. People are saying that they're not going to kill off Uncle Ben.
You have to, though.
But there's a lot of speculation of his parents being involved because his mom and dad are a heavy part of the story.
Yeah.
There's people theorizing that it's more of they were accidentally experimenting on Peter as a kid, and he got bit by a spider, and it's only now that he's getting his powers because of puberty and stuff like that, whatever kids go through.
Yep.
So that's a revelation that people are thinking about.
The only thing is the death of Uncle Ben is what sets
That's true.
Spider-Man in motion. Like, he would not actually be a hero.
Yeah.
He would still just do the wrestling thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing.
And that's the thing. Like, they haven't really played that part. They haven't talked about it, if they're killing off Ben or not.
Uncle Ben needs to die.
He is a character that, yeah, he is
Because
motivation.
even if you read, like, when the Ultimate Spider-Man comic started, Brian Michael Bendis, who does all the writing for Ultimate Spider-Man, his son came to him and told him not to kill Uncle Ben off because this was the Ultimate Universe and you could change things. And Brian Michael Bendis even sat there going, I have to.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other way to make Spider-Man Spider-Man other than the death of his uncle. So, they worked it in a lot more in the Ultimate comics, like Peter Parker kind of started to rebel a lot more. Like, it wasn't just like he was wrestling for money and this kind of stuff happened. It was, he became a troubled kind of teen because, you know, he wasn't getting the freedoms that he wanted to do, and he felt bad about himself because he had no parents and all that kind of stuff. And then Uncle Ben's, you know, kind of does his whole, you know, with great power comes great responsibility, Peter, and you're a smart kid and you shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff.
And then the whole accident.
And then he drives him to the library.
Which, obviously.
Which isn't the library.
Which is done, honestly, it's done pretty good in the movie. In the first movie.
Yeah. And that's what I mean, though, is how many times do you need to do a superhero's origin story?
That's another thing. I don't think, they don't...
Like, nobody wants to see it again.
Unless you're, like, re-changing the formula. If they're re-changing the formula, then yes, do another origin story. But at this point in time, everybody knows how Spider-Man came to be.
Yeah, I thought Spectacular Spider-Man, the cartoon show, did a really good job. Where they start him off as Spider-Man, and then they do, like, quick little flashbacks every once in a while to him getting bit by the spider, so it's not like here's Peter on a field trip, gets bit by a spider, yada yada. It doesn't take up half the show with him getting his powers, wrestling, doing all that.
Yeah, because everybody and their sons know what Spider-Man is.
Bit by spider. Could be genetically altered, radioactive, neogenic.
So there's a spider involved.
There is a spider, it bites him, he becomes a superhero.
And that's why it's still viable for the whole, like, being bit as a kid thing. Because...
That's a really different take, but yeah, that works.
Yeah. I if anything, I really want to see that.
And in the Ultimate Comics, his parents were involved in the Hulk project.
Oh, yeah?
So...
Leniency towards a rumor?
Yes, there's another rumor that we won't talk about, but yeah. So yeah, those
I'm
were...
I'm excited for that one.
Two big trailers this week.
The Bourne Legacy had a trailer.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, I'm so excited for it. It's pretty much more Jeremy Renner in Jeremy Renner kick-ass movie.
Really? Is that what he does?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm so sold.
Yeah, me too. As soon as they said that.
And it's still carrying on the Bourne, like, lineage of the movies, not the books, but they make all these references. Like, I'm fully expecting Matt Damon to come pop into the movie some point as, like, a cameo appearance, as in, like, hey, you're the old Treadstone, aren't you? And, like, blah blah, and they start fighting, and then Renner kind of takes over the spot of Top Dog. It'll be weird without Matt Damon, though.
Yes.
Because, well, to be honest, the movies didn't really follow the books anyways.
No.
But they're still a very good movie.
Yeah.
They're still very good movies. Well, we'll show you the trailer later then. But,
yeah, I'll watch it later.
I'm super excited. And the fact that it's coming out in, I think it's the same month that Amazing Spider-Man is. Which, weird to me. Renner had a really busy couple months.
No kidding.
He had this movie, he had Avengers, he had probably some, like, chick flick or something. He'll probably do that. He's getting up there on my man crushes.
Chick flicks take a week to film anyways.
Yeah, so it's like, oh man, you're Hawkeye. Yes, but yeah.
That's enough for me.
You're Clive Barton. You know who Clive Barton is? That's my response. No one knows it's Clive Barton.
I don't know how.
Because everyone just Hawkeye, Hawkeye, Hawkeye.
I hope he pulls off his fingernails and uses them as weapons.
He won't do that.
Such a badass movie, though.
That sounds like something he would do. There's a scene, if you actually pause the Avengers trailer, and there's the shot of Hawkeye pulling an arrow.
Yep.
But if you like, I think you watch that video too. Yep. It's not an arrow.
No.
It's a hook arrow.
Yep.
So it'll be tied to a string.
Yep.
I'm excited for
Me
that.
too. I'm really excited for the Avengers movie, and every time they keep releasing stuff, I just keep.
There's a scene that he needs to have 3 arrows like knocked at once.
Oh, you know he will.
He needs to have 3 arrows knocked.
And that you know the video is gonna follow like.
Or it's like it'll do a weird like camera cut where it'll split the display into 3 and you follow all 3 arrows at the same time in 3D. Well, it doesn't really matter for you, but in 3D. Or he'll do like some wanted thing where he'll change the arrow's direction.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll have a gun?
In some of the comics he does.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, do you think he'll have, a handgun? I mean, based off of the weird cameo in Thor, it's like assault rifle, sniper rifle.
I think he prefers.
He does.
A bow and arrow, but I think honestly,
he can use anything though.
Yeah, if he uses it, well, he can. He's literally Bullseye.
Yeah.
But a good version. Like he's just good at Like he hits when he aims, he hits. Essentially, and so does Bullseye. Except he doesn't have that ego thing where if he misses, he actually feels bad. Mm-hmm. Like Hawkeye's just badass.
Yeah. And clever and witty. That's another thing I really liked about the Amazing Spider-Man trailer. Actually, jumping all over the place here, but it's actually witty Spider-Man.
Yes, and Andrew Garfield can totally pull that off.
Yeah. The whole like, you really think I'm a cop? Really? No, dude. Let's just do this.
And Andrew Garfield to me makes a really good.
He does look really good.
He makes a really good Peter Parker.
Like, and he's done like what, 2 things?
He did The Social Network.
Yeah. Yep, he was in that one.
Yep.
I remember seeing him. Yeah, he's done nothing.
He's done stuff.
This would be good for him.
Oh yeah. Well, and you are getting into a movie franchise. Don't even try and kid me.
Yeah. I really like the web slingers because we actually get a clean shot of the mechanical ones. It looks like he made it up with a watch.
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah, the gears.
Yeah, so.
Super cool.
I'm super excited just because there's web shooters, and it's funny if you talk to some younger people, they're very upset because they watched the movies before they read any comics, and they're like, well, he has to build web shooters to shoot web, and you're like, yes.
Like the Spider-Man.
Like in every Spider-Man comic, that's what Spidey does.
It's only the Sam Raimi comics or movie.
Because they didn't want to go through explaining the whole web shooter thing, and I'm like, but that
causes more questions.
Yeah, webs don't come out of a spider's wrists. Yeah. Think about it. You'll be disturbed if you think about it hard enough.
Well, that's the thing. Like you spend more time trying to explain why they're organic.
Yeah. See, and what happens with at least the Ultimate Comics is when he gets bit by the spider, and his powers start showing up, the formula for the web works itself out in his mind. So he gains the knowledge on how to actually make the web fluid.
That makes sense.
Because before it's in the Ultimate Comics, his dad was working on like a super bonding agent, and then he had the super bonding agent because of course he got all of his dad's research. So he had the whole thing done, but then all of a sudden he gets the spider powers. He looks down at it and he goes, "Oh, if I just move this here, and add this, all of a sudden I have webbing." And then he just needed a way to deliver the webbing. So he did. So I'm excited, because I really love Spidey. So, I think that's it.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. I think we're around an hour 45.
I don't know.
We'll say an hour 45.
I think that's what it says on our account.
We'll guess.
Yay!
Yeah, so that's it. That's what we found this week.
Yes.
Lots of things.
Lots of news. News.
So, anything? No.
Nothing exciting.
Well, we'll have a video next week. Unboxings. I'm excited.
Oh, that's right. I'm taking you there next week, aren't I?
Yes.
Yep. Yes, we will have a video next week. So yes, there is something coming up.
It'll be on the Thursday.
No. I'm taking you Wednesday, ain't I?
Yeah.
So it'll be Wednesday.
We're gonna put it up on Wednesday?
Yeah, I can get it up on Wednesday.
Okay.
It won't be that long.
Yeah. It's just me like
Yeah. It'll be the new thing on the internet. You have chicks licking things and then Tony.
There's a video of who's that girl that first licked the PSP?
On G4?
Yeah.
Jessica Shobot, I think?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I saw a video of her at a E3 or something like that, and she's like, "This is the blah 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 PlayStation Vita," and there's people like behind her.
Look it, yeah.
And then she's all like, she can't do it.
They did that to her at CES too.
Ugh.
They do it to her everywhere now. She just gives people this look like, come on, really?
Honestly though, it is the thing that made you popular. But at the same time.
What makes those girls popular is they're on G4 Tech TV and they're women.
That's what it is. Now it is, but for her.
Yeah.
It's like, she started it.
So. Anywho, folks.
Yes.
Good day. Good evening.
Morning.
Moonday.
Monday.
Tomorrow, next year, I don't know, whenever you watch this. Have a good one. Bye.
See you.
Button, where's the button?
Button.
Not that.
Button.
Hold on.
No. Holding.
Holding. Is it secret? Is it safe?
What?
You holding on? Are you
1, 2, 3, 4. That's the safe combination.
1 is
1, 1,
for
1. Tuba.
2 is for tuba.
3
3 is for.
What's 3 for?
I love how like sad he sounds.
I want to sign this as Dis Batman House now. Dis Batman House.
Wait, I'm gonna do that Etsy thing after. I'll show you there's a couple Pikachus.
Oh, is there?
Yep. Good to go.
Always.
This episode brought you
We should make fake sponsors.
Viagra. We used that in high school. It's like Viagra, but it's gum.
We could have animal Viagra.
I don't think they need that.
How do you know? Are you an animal?
No, but
That's right. Animal. Brought to you by Animal Viagra. This episode brought to you by Family Safe Bleach. Keeping family safe and keeping you safe and your family safer. Paid for a lot of Canadian Family Safe Bleach.
anywho. Okay. No, don't lose your book down the...
My working.com book. I've gone through a quarter of it.
Wow.
Take a page a week.
There you go.
Bleh.
I got you fixed.
Got you covered.
Oh dear. I fixed you.
Is that a good thing? My pad. My pad. Did you record?
Yep.
Record?
We're recording.